We're going to try and make a little video on these pair of hammocks that I just made that have the 21-inch or 20-inch extension on the footbox side, and added the footbox. Okay, here's what we have. We extended the foot end on the right hand side of the hammock 20 inches, and we made a triangle 30 inches on each 90-degree side, 30 inches on each side here, and that turned out to be 43 inches across the edge. So we came down about 6 inches from the end folds of the hammock and started sewing in the triangle. When the triangle was made, we wanted to sew the long edge last, because inside of this edge there is a piece of zinget line, runs full length of the hammock, exits at one point and enters the hammock side at the next. Now these holes were just kind of put in here with a little bit of heat. Seemed to work pretty good. Didn't you know, it hasn't frayed or anything. I've been hanging in this thing quite a bit. So about 6 inches down from the end, we laid in the triangle, and we just put a simple fold over on the edge here to include the triangle. Rounded the corner of the end of the foot box a little bit, so because I don't like to do square corners that well. So we rounded the corner, sewed the full length, double stitched, and after we got it all done, we pulled in the zinget line. Now in each end of the line there is a small locked Brummel loop that is included in the whipping line that goes around it. And this is Noddy's method of whipping. Works fantastic. I don't see any reason I can't improve on that a bit. So we've used Noddy's method and included the whipping, or the zinget loops, inside of the whipping. Got a pair of, or a piece of another piece of 1.75 for ridgeline with a pair of whoopies in it, because not knowing exactly where we wanted to end up, we put whoopies in this line. Okay, on the inside of the hammock I've added a small pocket, because I wanted this hammock to use the DeJona's Hug bug net and needed some kind of a storage area. I also have a small peak bag up here in the end that I've got in it. So we'll show you how this thing fits. Okay, so this is 1.1 digital camo Walmart material. Didn't know how well this is going to work. It's not coated, not treated, but I didn't want to put a lot of expense into this first one in case it didn't work. But you can see my feet down here. The bottom of the triangle is right at the bottom where your feet would hang. Your feet hang nearly vertically, almost straight underneath the whipping knot. Now this material happens to be 60 something wide. I didn't cut it down. It's over 60. Put a 1-inch hem in the left side, 1-inch hem in the right side, in order to allow the zinget line to fit. But lays very flat. And looks like it's going to work real well. One other feature of this hammock is it ended up with a ridge line that is less than 7 foot long. I think it's about 80 inches. The hammock edges, after adding the zinget line, ended up to be 93 inches, I believe. But the ridge line is about 80% of that, and it seems to work very well. Now we're going to show you how this the bug net works. I'm going to attach the bug net and then give you a little demo on that. Okay, we've got the Hug bug net installed on the hammock now, and now we're going to show you how that works. It's not real elegant getting in and out, but I think it's going to work fine for what I'm doing. Okay, with the Hug bug net, you've got an adjustable stretch cord at the top with a toggle adjustment. You've also, this is possibly not necessary, but at the foot end I added the other stretch cord, and underneath there's a stretch cord with a toggle for adjustment also. One of the nice things about the Hug bug net is it's very easy to adjust your quilt positions when you've got this net on. You don't have to unzip. If you've only got a bug or a zipper opening on one side of your bug net, you can't hardly ever get to the other side. This way, you can grab both sides, slide your quilt for positioning or however you need to handle it. I think this is going to work real well for me. Okay, I wanted to add that my objective here was to make a short, lightweight hammock that would be wide enough to fit my shoulders, comfortable, and I think this might fit the bill for me. This is double layer 1.1, not a real good ripstop. We're going to make a couple more of these and see how it turns out. But this hammock came in right at 14 ounces for double layer 1.1. The bug net came in at just over 4. So, I think my objective was met. It's short, it's light, and it's roomy. Okay, now we're going to show you how the hammock I made for my wife works. Number 3 zipper, double direction zipper pulls. You notice the left side is a little low here. Right side is a little high. The two ends, the hammock length ended up being about probably 8 inches, probably about 8 inches longer on the shoulder side. This is even with cutting it back to a 7-inch overlap. The nice thing about the zinget line in the edges is you don't have too much concern with stressing the edges of these hammocks much. Okay, this hammock's a little bit short for me, but she's only 5'4". I don't know if you can see it down here, but there's very little back of your leg pressure with these type of hammocks. With this one, my feet are not quite into the bottom. I think I would go with 120 inches on the right hand side with the extension, and still set back probably 20 inches, maybe 22. But again, the right side of the hammock is a little bit high, which you would expect with this kind. Left side, once you're in it, is fine. It lays pretty darn flat even for me. For her, I think it's going to be fine. Also added a ridgeline organizer for hers, which is just a saddle type, flips over the ridgeline, and I've actually sewed it on after everything's together so it can stay right in here. The only concern I have is the positioning of the zipper pulls when you're in it. My shoulder is right at the seam of the zipper, so I wanted to make sure she positions the zipper pulls anywhere but at her shoulder on this hammock. Because this is only 60-inch material and you lose an inch on each side for the seams, the shoulder width is a little snug for me. The last ones I built on the Jerry 5 design have more room for me. This one probably wouldn't be very comfortable unless I made it a bit longer for myself. But a 5'4" person, I think it's going to work fine.